Were Scream 4's Jill Roberts and Charlie Walker a part of Stu Macher's cult? Let's get into it. I'm Pamela, welcome back to the channel. Today I have another Scream theory for you guys. Were Jill Roberts and Charlie Walker in Stu Macher's Ghostface cult? You guys know I am a Stu believer, I think he's alive, and going to return in Scream 7 leading a cult of Ghostface. And now we have the official confirmation that Matthew Lillard is returning for Scream 7. It has some people thinking that because they announced him, that means that it's only going to be a flashback. I still think it means that he's alive. If you want to go back and watch my past video on why I think the announcement doesn't ruin the plot twist, definitely go back and do so. But I think he's alive. And now there's also a rumor out there that Emma Roberts might be coming back as well. That is not confirmed, I need to emphasize that, but this rumor has been floating around that they might announce Emma Roberts next. And of course, we do have an official announcement that Scott Foley, who played Roman Bridger, is back as well. So, if Emma Roberts comes back, either she's still alive, which is a possibility, a theory that we've talked about on the channel before, but of course she could always just be a flashback the way Roman Bridger is going to be, because Roman is definitely dead. He was shot in the head. When it comes to Stu and Roman in Scream 7, I think we're going to get a flashback and potentially find out that Stu was Roman's secret partner in Scream 3. I think we're going to find out some kind of new information like that with the flashback. And if Emma Roberts comes back, alive or dead as a flashback, that could be interesting because that could be some kind of connection to Roman. Her and Roman are cousins after all, so I definitely could see them bringing her back too, for at least a flashback. But now I've always had this theory that Jill Roberts and Charlie Walker could have been in Stu's cult. Now I think in Scream 7, Stu Macher is going to come back with his Ghostface cult, but that was the original plan for Scream 3. Back in the year 2000, Stu Macher was going to come back with the next generation of Woodsboro High students being in his cult. And I do feel like a few elements of that leaked into Scream 4. Because in Scream 4, that is the first time we go back to Woodsboro High. And we have Charlie's Cinema Club. And in Scream 4, they originally were going to have Jill Roberts survive at the end and go on to be in Scream 5. If we got Scream 5 over a decade ago, it would have been Jill Roberts again. She would have went to college. So it makes me wonder if they had come back with a full new trilogy back then, if they would have brought Stu back for Scream 6 had it been made back in like 2013 or way back when, and if they would have revealed that Jill was in Stu's cult. Emma Roberts has said pretty recently, about a year ago, that she feels that she was not done with the Scream franchise and that she would love to return. So I feel like even if it's a flashback, it could work. Emma Roberts and Rory Culkin both look exactly the same since Scream 4, honestly. Definitely Emma does, she has not aged at all. And Rory pretty much looks the same too. He's still got the long brown hair. There are a couple clues in Scream 4 that could point towards Stu being around and in the shadows, working in the shadows in Scream 4. There are some people out there who do think that Stu has kind of been present in every sequel. I gotta shout out the YouTube channel Nerdbox. They have a great series on their channel with all of the Stu clues in every single sequel. Now in Scream 4, there is a deleted scene. After Marnie and Jenny's death in the opening scene, Marnie was hung from a ceiling fan. She was hung sort of in a similar manner as Casey Becker in the original, but they chose to delete that scene. But hanging Marnie from the ceiling, is that an homage to Stu, or could Stu have done it himself? Also, the scene in Scream 4 when Sydney is at her book signing and then all of that stuff is found in her trunk, all the bloody photos and stuff that is in Sydney's car trunk. Every time I watch Scream 4, I wonder who did that? Who put that stuff in there? Because we know that Jill was at home being picked up by KIRBY for school, and then our next scene, Charlie is already at school. So was there a third accomplice? Could Stu have put that stuff in Sydney's trunk? especially him being the one who has all this history with Sydney and it being the anniversary of the Woodsboro massacre. Could he have been the one who wanted to really taunt her and torture her? And then there's also just a couple of other scenes that could be questionable, like when Olivia Morris is in her room and Kirby's on the phone with Ghostface, but Ghostface is also in Olivia's closet. Why doesn't Olivia hear Ghostface talking in her room? If Charlie was in the closet and Jill was in the room with Kirby, could someone else have been on the phone with Kirby? Also, could Stu have been the one who killed the cops, Haas and Perkins? There is some debate amongst fans of who killed the cops. I've always thought that it was Charlie who killed them because I think Charlie did all of the work. I think Jill wanted to keep her hands as clean as possible. So she only kills Trevor at the end and Charlie at the end because she wanted to be able to frame Charlie for everything and keep her hands clean. So I always thought Charlie killed the cops, but a lot of people think that it was Jill because there's a deleted scene where Charlie carpooled with Robbie after the stabathon. But we also know that Jill was already at Kirby's. So could that have been another third accomplice? Possibly Stu. Now, something else that is interesting, in the third act, after the killer reveal, when it's Jill, Charlie, and Sydney in the kitchen, and Jill and Charlie are getting ready to stab each other to, you know, do what Billy and Stu did in the original, Charlie says Trevor is this generation's Billy Loomis, and we are the innocent victims, Sydney and Randy.
Trevor's this generation's Billy Loomis, and we're the innocent victims, Sydney and Randy.
And then when Charlie and Jill are getting ready to stab each other, just like Billy and Stu did, Charlie says, old school, just like Billy and Stu. Jill stabs Charlie in the heart. Charlie says that's not the way we rehearsed it. And Sydney says, you said it, Charlie. Billy and Stu, Trevor and you.
You said it, Charlie, Billy and Stu, Trevor and you.
And then Jill says, Trevor was your partner, but you were the idea man.
Trevor was your partner, you were the idea man.
So a couple things going on with this. Let's break it down. In Jill's plan, Trevor is Billy and Charlie is Stu. Jill also says that Charlie was the idea man, so that would also make Stu the idea man. If Charlie is Stu and Charlie's the idea man, then Stu is also the idea man, which could be a little hint towards him being the cult leader. He's the idea man. The cult is his idea and he's the leader. But now according to Charlie's plan, Trevor is Billy, but then who's Stu? There is no Stu according to Charlie's plan. Why didn't Charlie have someone else to be the new Stu? If Charlie was planning to frame Trevor as Billy, who was he planning to frame as Stu? There wasn't a new Stu because Stu was already himself. Stu's alive, there's already a Stu out there, there's no one new to replace him. Billy's dead, Trevor's the new Billy, but there's no new Stu? Now you guys know I have this theory that I think Dewey Riley could have possibly known that Stu was alive. I'm not going to get into all the details in this video, you can go back and definitely check out my past video on this, but I'll just quickly say I do think it could make a lot of sense. Dewey knew Stu was alive, which could have led to his downfall pretty much. He lost his job because the secret was eating him alive. He turned to alcohol because he just couldn't take the guilt of knowing this. He could never work out his relationship with GALE because he was keeping this major secret from her. So what if in Scream 7 we get a flashback to Scream 4 with Dewey? Maybe Dewey goes to see Stu, whether he's in an insane asylum, in jail. I personally don't like the whole jail story or institutionalized story. I think it would make a lot more sense if Stu was in hiding, because I feel like if he was in jail or a hospital, Sydney could have known about that, and I don't think Sydney knows that Stu's alive. But if they choose to go the route that Stu is locked up somewhere and Dewey knew this, maybe in Scream 4, Dewey went to visit Stu when the killings start up again, and we could see a flashback to this, and he goes to Stu and says, what do you know about this? Are you behind these new killings? And what if during this flashback it's revealed that Jill and Charlie were a part of Stu's cult? I think that could be a really great way to see Dewey again, get a flashback with him in Scream 7, and to see Jill again. If the rumors are true that Emma Roberts is signing on for Scream 7, maybe she's not still alive, but maybe we can see a flashback to her being in Stu's cult. Or if she is still alive, which I would absolutely love, what if she is leading this cult with Stu? All Jill wanted was fans. She didn't want friends, she wanted fans.
I don't need friends. I need fans.
And obviously that plan did not work out for her the way she wanted it to. So what if now she's leading this cult and the cult followers, the members of the cult, are essentially her fans? And then this could just be a great way to also tie it in with Roman. We know that Scott Foley is back. Like I said, I think we're gonna get a flashback with Stu and Roman to reveal some new info. But Jill Roberts is Roman's cousin. So to have all three of them back in some capacity, whether it's alive or a flashback, to have Stu, Roman, and Jill in Scream 7 could just be so fun. So many possibilities to tie the three of them together. But that is it for today. That is my crazy theory about Jill Roberts and Charlie Walker possibly being in Stu Macher's cult. Please leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Also, if you have any other ideas or anything to add, definitely let me know down below. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any other Scream theories like this one or Scream 7 updates. If we get that Emma Roberts announcement, you know I'm going to be posting about it here on the channel. Please also go follow me over on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and I will be right back.